The epilepsy drug that's left children with birth defects and their families still waiting for compensation. Pam from Abergavenny says all 7 of her children were affected.
Pay up, stop delaying and pay up and pay it. It's not about me, it's about the children.
Could you help crack the cold case in Clocaenog Forest? The police speak for the first time since reopening their appeal. Preparing to face the French, can Wales claw it back after a depressing start to their Six Nations?
And I'm with the dancers who have stepped their way to the Big Apple.
Hello, good evening to you. First tonight, the families who feel forgotten and abandoned after medication taken during pregnancy left their children with numerous birth defects. The drug sodium valproate is used to treat epilepsy, but in the past it was also used for bipolar disorder and migraines. Pregnant women were told it was safe to use. It wasn't. Now there are fresh calls for the UK government to pay compensation to the thousands of victims of this medical scandal. Our correspondent Richard Morgan has been speaking to a mum from Abergavenny whose 7 children suffered health problems after she took the drug. She says it's high time the government took responsibility and paid up.
Do you sometimes feel guilty about taking?
Always, always, yes. Because I'm the one that took them, aren't I?
Pam did take sodium valproate during pregnancy, but she didn't know how the drug, which she used to control her epilepsy, would affect her children. 2 of them, including Hannah, seen on the right, died with problems linked to sodium valproate. The other 5, including 30-year-old Joshua, who's unable to live independently, have all struggled with different health issues.
The 3 girls that I had were born with holes in their hearts. It's mental health issues as well that they've struggled with, going out, not being able to interact with relationships. I'd questioned it throughout my pregnancies, after my pregnancies, because I was always concerned because I was on medication and I was always told, no, valproate is safe.
Today, packaging for Epilim, the brand name for sodium valproate, carries clear warnings about the risks. But for those affected in the past, there's never been redress. 2 years ago, a report commissioned by the government recommended compensation, but not a penny has yet been paid out, something the report author has branded a disgrace.
Seriously? We've been waiting for your response to the recommendations to a report that I was asked to do by the government. So as Patient Safety Commissioner, I'm asking for a rapid response, rapid action, and for those patients and families who've been harmed to be treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve.
What is your message to Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the government?
Pay up, stop delaying and pay up and pay it. It's not about me, it's about the children. He needs a suitable accommodation to live. That's what that money will cover.
Give me an idea of how your life has been because of this drug, sodium valproate.
It's been really tricky. I got do my own things that I want to do.
And how much difference would it make to your life if the government were to give you some money?
Really good help and no more stress. With all the families too.
The UK government described the sodium valproate scandal as a complex issue, saying its priority is to ensure any response is fair, balanced and sensitive to those affected. Adding, we're carefully considering the recommendations within the Hughes report and we aim to provide an update in due course.
Hannah?
Yeah.
But families like Pam's say they've heard it all before and that the time has come for action to safeguard their children's future.
Well, Richard's here, Pam and Josh there speaking. You could really hear the impact on them, and there are many other families like them.
Well, there really are, Andrea. An estimated 20,000 children affected by this issue across the UK. So big numbers and a real sense of injustice, which in fact is often compared to the thalidomide scandal. I think what really came across there was the anger shown by the Patient Safety Commissioner, Henrietta Hughes. She was asked to prepare this report 2 years ago. There hasn't been much movement. She says she'll continue to press the UK government for answers. Today, this issue was debated in the House of Commons, where MPs called on the Treasury to make redress a reality for the victims. In one sense, Andrea, I suppose it's not surprising that the government are dragging their heels. Compensation schemes for medical scandals are very expensive indeed. For example, the infected blood controversy has seen about £12 billion put aside for the victims. But in the end, the families say the government has a moral duty to do this. As for the Welsh Government, they acknowledge that the responsibility for redress is carried by politicians in Westminster. Jeremy Miles, the Health Secretary, has spoken with his counterparts in Westminster. The Welsh Government added, "We will continue to press for progress."
I know you'll keep us updated, Richard. Thank you. A man from Caerphilly has been sentenced today after making online threats to stab people at his former college. Oliver Bainan, who's 21, posted a video on YouTube threatening staff and students at Merthyr Tydfil College. He admitted a charge of sending communication threatening death or serious harm and was sentenced at Cardiff Crown Court to 6 months in prison, suspended for 18 months. The UK government has announced it started the process of devolving powers to the Senedd to introduce a vacant land tax, a move they hope will incentivise house building and boost the economy. Well, our reporter Gwen Campbell is outside the UK government HQ for us this evening with more on this. What does this announcement actually mean, Gwen?
Well, Andrea, this is something the Welsh Government have been calling for a while now, to boost the housing sector. But the announcement itself has come as a bit of a surprise for many, with Welsh Secretary Joe Stevens decided to make this announcement in front of the Welsh Affairs Committee this afternoon.
Already the Senedd has the power over housing, environment, planning, economic development. The Welsh Government wants to be able to build more homes, and this is a way of getting the land in order to do that. So it's going to build houses for people, and it will be able to do more around infrastructure right across Wales.
Now, the reaction to this announcement has been mixed. The Welsh Government, of course, have welcomed the news, but Plaid Cymru's MP Anne Davies has urged the UK Government to go even further in terms of devolution. The Tories say words aren't enough and that we need more concrete plans on how this would work.
And so, Gwen, why this announcement now?
Well, it's quite an interesting move, Andrea. First Minister Eluned Morgan has been quite vocal, criticising the UK government recently for not devolving more powers to Wales. But the timing of this announcement is very interesting. It comes a day after First Minister Eluned Morgan showed her support to the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and 2 days after Labour's Scottish leader called for his resignation. So some might see this as some sort of reward for her loyalty. But it's also a move that shows that the UK government is listening to the Welsh government, and with an election around the corner, both governments will want to be seen as working together and standing up for Wales, Andrea.
Gwen, thank you very much, and apologies for some of the interference on the sound there with Gwen. Next, the latest developments in a mysterious cold case in Conway. North Wales Police are hoping a digitally created image of a man whose remains were found in a remote forest there more than a decade ago might help identify him. Campers found a body in a shallow grave in Clocaenog forest in November 2015. But how he died is still unclear. Joanne Gallagher reports.
Painstakingly looking for clues at the grave of a murdered man found deep in the Clocaenog forest. Those responsible for his death have never been found, but neither has his identity. Now, a new image of what he could look like has been released, but we don't know his name, where he lived, who loved him, or even who grieves for him.
At the end of the day, we've got someone's father, someone's son or brother or friend who's out there, and we just want to bring that family peace and closure.
It's 7 years since this case was looked into previously. Why are you looking again now?
There's been substantial investment over the last 2 years in a major crime review team in North Wales Police. There is a lot of work to be chasing because there have been developments in DNA technology. So one of the avenues that we're looking at is familial DNA work, where we look at DNA profiles that are on the DNA database.
The body was likely put here sometime between 2004 and 2011. A jumper was discovered nearby, and through dental records, it's believed he was born before 1950. Experts from Liverpool University worked to reconstruct his face, and they believe his teeth could crack the case.
I think for this particular skull is quite interesting with the missing molars at the back, and based on the missing dentition, this person probably would have lost them quite some time before their time of death. So perhaps somebody who knew them might notice that, they don't have the back teeth for the chewing.
This is an extremely isolated and rural part of North East Wales. In fact, driving up to the Clocaenog forest, we passed a tiny hamlet, but other than that, it was very quiet, no cars on the road. All you can hear are the birds singing, which has left people wondering, did the body get buried here by someone who knows the area?
It was found actually by spectators for the Welsh GB rally, which hasn't taken place in recent years, but was at the time. And it's about 5 or 10 minutes drive from the main A5 road, which crosses from Holyhead across North Wales down to the Midlands and down to London. So whether somebody's come off that road.
A £20,000 reward has been offered for any information that leads to a conviction. But for now, there may be a long road ahead. Joanne Gallagher, ITV News, Clocaenog Forest.
Still to come on the programme, let's cross to Dean. He's dancing the night away, I think.
Not quite. Joining me for a dance routine. Let's send in Swansea stateside.
And we've still got a bit of mixed weather to come, although it looks a little bit colder and, dare I say it, sunnier into the weekend. All that coming up in a few minutes' time.
Maybe he'll show us his moves a little later on. We'll watch out for that. Rugby, though, now, and Wales attack coach Matt Sherratt says his side's performance against England last weekend was not acceptable. After suffering a heavy defeat in the opening round of the Six Nations, Wales must now prepare to welcome France this weekend. Our sports reporter Matt Southcombe is outside the team hotel for us this evening. So how was the mood then, would you say, in camp today, Matt?
Well, Andrea, it's certainly been a performance that has raised a lot of questions. Is it now time for Wales to change their tactics, their game plan, or even some of their players? Because there's a general acceptance here that that performance on Saturday was way below the expected standard. And today here in camp, there were some honest and frank answers. There are some defeats that you can simply sweep under the carpet, but this wasn't one of them. And today at Wales HQ, some straight talking from attack coach Matt Sherratt. Do you look at that performance and think that it was an acceptable performance in a Welsh shirt?
No, it wasn't. And listen, it doesn't sting anyone more than the players and the staff. It's really disappointing. And big picture wise, we want to make the nation proud of the Welsh rugby team. So there wasn't a lack of effort, but you need more than effort at top end sport, don't you? So we were really disappointed.
We're now 5 games into the Steve Tandy era, and the numbers are difficult to digest. Since he took over, Wales have conceded an average of 50 points per match, and they've scored an average of just 17. In those matches, Wales have received 10 yellow cards and 1 red card. It leaves the coaches with a conundrum. Do they stick to their current plans, or is it time to change course?
We've been pretty clear from the start. We've got a group of players that we want to play in a certain way. It's been inconsistent in that, so I think we've seen shoots of it against Argentina, some really good shoots against New Zealand, and then possibly not in the other games, or not in the other games. So it's just about trying to get more of what we're trying to do on the field, not changing. We're not stubborn with it, so we will obviously look what's the best chance for the team to get a result at the weekend, but you can't be scrapping your plans each week as well.
Wales now welcome France this weekend, who, like England, have hopes of winning this year's championship.
Do you think we will see a reaction from the squad this week?
Yeah, definitely. We've had some tough reviews, and we've been honest with each other, and yeah, there'll be a definite reaction from the boys this weekend now.
After a slow start in Twickenham, Wales simply have to get out of the blocks faster this weekend. But holding back this French juggernaut will be no mean feat.
It won't be, Matt. So is there any hope Wales can turn it around, do you think, this weekend?
Well, Andrea, as former Wales fly half Dan Biggar and, of course, ITV pundit said on the weekend, there isn't a huge level of expectation on the players currently to be winning games like this, but it does come back to that point of there being a minimum standard of performance. And I don't think the players here really need to be told that from what I've seen today. They would accept that themselves. The camp is making all the right noises. You can sense there is a high motivation to put pride back in that jersey, but it's only really to be expected that this would be weighing heavily on these players at the moment, this run of results. France will be a massive challenge on Sunday with that Sean Edwards defence and that little magician Antoine Dupont at scrum half. But a win on Sunday, pardon me, does feel like the stuff of fantasy, but a creditable performance, an improved performance, would go such a long way to lifting the mood of Welsh rugby.
A challenge ahead for sure. Let's see how it goes. Matt, thank you. Well, it's 16 minutes past 6 now. Look ahead at what's on the ITV Evening News.
9 killed and dozens injured in a school shooting in Canada. The tight-knit community of Tumbler Ridge is reeling with mass shootings incredibly rare. The Prime Minister says another one of his key appointments didn't tell him the truth as he faces more questions and criticism over the Mandelson scandal and his judgment more widely. And the Robbie Williams fan who finally got her call answered 30 years later. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Charlotte coming up for you shortly. Now, though, here, members of a dance group in Swansea have a spring in their step tonight. They're celebrating after getting a golden buzzer in a recent competition that is taking them on the adventure of a lifetime. It means they'll get to perform at the O2 Arena with a trip to New York City thrown in as well. Well, Dean Thomas Welch is with them at their dance practice this evening. Hi, Dean. Are they teaching you some moves there?
Well, Andrea, as you know, my dance moves on Wine Street are legendary, but they're not that good to get me to New York. But for these young girls behind me, their dance moves have won them a competition to send them into New York. TPF Dance School. And Georgie, you are leading these girls. Tell us a little bit about that competition. How amazing was it to get those gold buzzers?
Oh, fantastic opportunity. Such a great opportunity for them all to perform. And then when we got the golden buzzer, I couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
So what was it from the routine, do you think, that impressed the judges to press that golden buzzer?
I don't know. It was a routine. We celebrating the 80th anniversary of World War II, so that's what the story was about. So I don't know if it was because it touched them, because it's such an important story to tell. And they do tell it so well. They do it so... They're amazing. I wish I could show you it now, but...
So there's one golden buzzer that sent you to the O2 in London, but
yes.
The second golden buzzer, where did that get you?
New York.
How amazing is that going to be?
Amazing opportunity. Stressful, but amazing. Really good.
And
really
what has
good.
the reaction been from everyone who's part of this dance group? They must be really excited. The parents as well.
Oh, they are so excited. They can't wait. All I've had is messages of like, well, we're organising everything. It's really exciting times.
Yeah, but the pressure's on now.
Pressure is on. Absolutely. It's always on.
Wonderful. Well, some of the people who were involved in that, Theon, you were a member of this dance class. How amazing is it to be part of it?
Really, really good. It's really good because I didn't grow up doing dance, but ever since I joined it, I loved it. So I really like it.
And Frankie, you were part of the group that got the golden buzzer. What was it like when that buzzer went? How did you feel?
It was amazing. I'm so proud for all my friends that got golden buzzers as well. It was just amazing.
So what's it going to be like in New York? Are you excited to go there?
Yeah, very excited.
Fantastic. Georgie, just a final word. I suppose you'll be practicing really hard now.
Absolutely. Mostly every day. I think we train 6 days a week. So a lot of practice to go into it. But it's not until 2028, so we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, look, if they need a reserve to come in, I'm available, but I don't think they'll be calling me up anytime soon.
You never know. You never say never. You've got a few years to practice by the sounds of it, so there we go. Well, I feel like we've all been doing a rain dance, haven't we, recently? It's been another wet day for so many of us. Let's see if there's a break from it at all on the horizon. Here's Charlie with tonight's forecast for you.
Midday Mayan temples, followed by sunny afternoons on the sand. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Hello. So for the next few days, we still have some outbreaks of rain around, but also a little bit of brightness in the mix. We saw some of that today, certainly down towards parts of South Wales. By the weekend, more likely Friday actually, some colder air working its way through because we're losing the areas of low pressure we have had for ages now. Not the same one, obviously, but ones have been working their way towards us and stalling. But towards the weekend, a change in wind direction and a lack of weather systems will bring us some colder air. And on Saturday, especially, some pretty decent sunshine. But for the rest of tonight, it is pretty cloudy out there. We've got some further outbreaks of rain working in from the west as we head through the night time. And temperatures will drop, maybe a fraction lower than last night, but still largely down to mid-single figures, although some parts of mid-Wales maybe 3 or 4 Celsius, so a little bit chilly first thing tomorrow morning. And we're holding on to a bit of a cloudy and damp theme initially, with this kind of area of rain slowly migrating northwards as we work our way through the course of the day. So the likes of Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire, perhaps a good chunk of South Wales, in fact, may end up seeing a pretty decent sunny day. Highest temperatures down here, still double figures, but already some colder air working in across the far north, and that will continue to do so as we head through Friday and Saturday. Saturday, nice gap opening up with a lot of sunshine potentially before this next band of rain arrives overnight and into Sunday. Leading edge, that might give a little bit of snow across the tops of the hills, but otherwise we're then pretty swiftly back to a more mobile pattern, bits of rain and milder air. But on Friday, it could be cold enough to give us a mixture of rain, sleet and hill snow. Saturday, as I said, should be okay, but otherwise we're back to something milder and more changeable once again.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm not sure that was exactly the news we wanted on the weather, but hopefully it's going to improve soon. And that is Wales at 6 for you. Katie Fenton will have your update. That's coming up after the news at 10. In the meantime, you can catch up with all of the day's news and features on ITVX, of course. But from all of us here on the programme, as ever, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.